in the programme. But now we have some music for you this evening from Miel de Botton. A couple of years ago, Miel, who's worked as a clinical psychologist, she's been a busy mother, decided she wanted to sing. Now she does, and we're playing for us this evening as promised. Before that, though, we get to meet her. Miel, your story is an unusual one. You started relatively late in the world of music. What made you want to? What was the impetus to get on stage and sing?
To be honest, it was always this, secret dream, sort of, pretending to be Madonna in my bathroom, and but I wasn't sure it would ever happen, and my other career as a clinical psychologist was obviously very rewarding, but at one point that seemed to not be right anymore, and these other doors opened for the singing, and it was something that I was so passionate about, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be in that world, in the music world. It's fantastic.
But it's no sort of easy thing to just throw yourself in music. Presumably a lot of hard work went into getting the right sound, getting what you wanted to do in place.
Yes, it did, but I think the main thing is really enthusiasm. I think when people feel that you are passionate, and obviously you do put the work in, they accept to take you in. Like my producer Andy Wright, who's a producer of Simply Red and Simple Minds, obviously a top producer, and I did show him some of the music that I'd done, and he accepted to take me in. But I think he said, "Are you ambitious?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess I am." And that's kind of...
And that's what you need. I mean, we're in a world, music is particularly, it would suggest, ageist. Have you encountered any barriers? Obviously, you're extremely youthful, as people can see at home, but you're not the 15-year-old going on X Factor. Have you found that a challenge, or have you hit any barriers as a result of it?
You know what? The only field I've encountered a challenge in is really radio. And Radio 1, I've been told, well, that's out for you. Radio 2 is the only one that could potentially look at you. Regional radio has been more open. And I didn't even realise this was going to be a problem. I just threw myself in, and then I thought... I was told, this is a problem, but actually it hasn't stopped me at all.
That hasn't held you back. I mean, you're not the only person who's not been turned down by Radio 1, Robbie Williams.
Yes, I heard,
there's some fairly big... So I think you're in pretty good company to not be... When people ask you to describe your style, how do you do that?
Well, I started with the French chansons and decided to zhuzh them up. I've got a reggae one and a ska one, and, they're from the 1940s, so that was quite fun. But then my producer got me to write all my own songs. I'm singing two of them tonight that I wrote myself. And we obviously had to harmonise the two. And so I guess they are kind of lyrical ballads, most of them, but sometimes I remix them in a dance style. I mean, I've really had fun with all this.
What are your musical ambitions? You got places you want to play, people you want to record with?
Well, to be honest, I would, I love big audiences, and I've done 2 UK tours with John Barrowman and Ridian, and I love that. I did some festivals this summer. I did Carfest and Camp Festival, and again, big audiences, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love that. I love connecting with people, and I'd like to continue doing that. I mean, I do like intimate spaces as well, but...
Now, anyone watching tonight might notice that it's particularly harmonious in the studio tonight, and I'm putting that down partly to these crystals you've brought in. Tell us about the crystals that we have, and I haven't seen an artist do this before, but they're handsome things, and they centre you, do they?
Absolutely, they are meant to ground you, and weirdly enough, people could say this was a placebo effect, but I have tried it without and with, and it definitely helps to have them with, and so that helps. And it kind of, for me, it's a spiritual world that I've been exploring. My album's called Magnetic, and it's all about attracting wonderful things to you through positive vibrations, and the crystals kind of are in the same field.
Well, I'm feeling vibrations from it. We might even have to just leave them in here after you go. Help our news programming from this studio. Miel, finally I want to ask you, you said you're going to play 2 of your own songs for us tonight. Looking forward to those. What are they? So
the first one is Beautiful You, which is the first song I ever wrote, and it was after something rather tragic happened. Somebody left me, and in really tragic circumstances, and it was very cathartic. It really, and that to me is what my music and every music is about, which is about putting words on difficult things, calming, soothing, you know, like a mother's lullaby, and that's where, you know, that's where psychology also comes in. And then Vivement la joie is a French song that I wrote. It's a very short one, but that's its charm, I think. It's a little French poem that I wrote, and it means bring on the joy. And it basically recommends that you throw yourself naked into the dance of life, which is obviously quite a bold recommendation, but it is one that I would make.
Absolutely. Well, no nudity on London Live News this evening, but certainly the spirit of it, and what a great thing to go off into a Friday night with. So do stick around with us for that. Until Miel de Botton, thank you so much for joining us. You can hear her a little bit later on in the programme. We're going to a break now, though, of course, and there's still